دایری ساوند موزیک رو داریم. اینسایتش هم اومده، احتمالا این دوتا رو یکی کنم دیگه، یعنی ادیتی طولانی شد سر همینه، چون اینسایتش هم تقریبا خودش 10 دقیقه میشه. What the fuck?
Sounds of the city. Inspiring. Exciting. Annoying. In City Skylines 2, a rich and dynamic soundscape brings your city to life.
یه نکته ای که هست اینه که دیگه اسم این دیوارا چی بود که لبه آب میزنیم، خدایا اسمشونو یادم نیست، ولی مثل اینا دیگه وجود نداره. اینی هم که اینجا میبینی سر چیزه، این پیاده رواست. اینا یه طوری میشه تنظیم کرد که کار همون کیوال بهش میگفتن، کیوال اون کارو کنه. جاده ها میتونن یه همچین کیوال هایی درست کنن، ولی خب نیست دیگه، همون کیوال خالی دیگه نداریم.
What would a city be without the hum of traffic and people? To ratchet up the realism of City Skylines 2, vehicles, people, and animals add to the audio mix. Cars even sound different depending on how fast they're going, while sirens match the European or North American theme of your city.
خب این آژیره حتی این ماشینای خدماتی که توی وریانت های مختلفه، تو تم اروپایی و آمریکایی اگه بذاری، اینا صدا آژیرشون هم فرق داره. کلا صدای ماشینا و اینا تو حرکت سرعت‌های مختلف، جای مختلف هم متفاوته.
Click on a person and you'll hear an audio cue that expresses their age,
چه صدایی بود؟
gender, and mood. Even animals will have something to say when you click. Almost all city service buildings have sounds related to their function and operational status. These sounds can change with the time of the day, the outside temperature, and when it's extended or upgraded.
خب میگه این صداهایی که از این محیط و اماکن و اینا میاد بستگی داره به آب و هوا و تایم روز و چه میدونم شلوغی و ایناشون بیشتر.
By layering sound loops with distinctive audio spots, city service buildings add variation and texture.
یه نکته‌ای که هست راجع به این زمستونه، من هر سری میگم این که برف روی درخت و یه سری جاها و پشت بوم نیست. فکر کنم سر بتا بیلد بودنشه بیشتر، چون که ارلی اکسسی که به یه سری دادن تو وینتر که میره اصلا هیچ خبری، حتی همین یه تیکه برف هم نیست، اینی که داره میادم اصلا هیچی نیست،
To the city soundscape.
فقط بارون.
Ambient sounds are more than background audio. They follow the camera, changing according to whatever you're looking at. Move from one zone type to another, the ambient sounds change.
خب این صدای محیط زون ها هم حتی با هم دیگه متفاوت.
When bad weather blows in, the ambient sounds change. As an emergency unfolds, the ambient sounds change.
خب این همچین هم حس نمی‌کنم چیز جدیدی باشه، بوده.
There are 2 radio networks in City Skylines 2. Each network features a few stations playing music from different genres.
این رادیوهاش و اینا رو تقریبا همه خاموش میکردن تو یک.
Stations have hosts who talk between songs and anchor the talk show if there is one. Public citizen radio stations mostly play classical music, but there's a little pop in there too. The best part is
مثلا مثلا همون فورزا 4 و 3 هم داشت، 5 که داره میدونم 4 رو داشت، 3 هم فکر کنم داشت. اینجوری بود که وسط رادیو و موزیکا مثلا یه تبلیغاتی، یه حالت مجری می اومدن حرف زدن و اینا بود که اینجا هم هست. فکر کنم میشه خاموشش کرد، ادزو بزنی.
these stations are ad-free. Radio stations do more than entertain you. They're designed to deliver news and information about what's happening in your city.
نایس. این خوبه. جدای این که حالا یه موزیکی دارن تو بک‌گراند پخش میکنن، میتونن چیز کنن، مثلا یه سری اخبار و این اتفاقای شهر رو مثل همون چرپی که این بغل داریم بیا توی همون رادیو بگه.
These fact-based announcements can help you address critical situations before they get out of hand. Of course, that includes disaster alerts. Whatever's playing on the radio will be interrupted if disaster strikes.
نایس. خب میگه هر اتفاقی از این چه من بلای طبیعی اینا چیز بشه بیفته، رادیو قطع میشه، این پیام‌های اضطراری و اینا پلی میشه.
All citizens in the affected area are instructed to immediately move to a safe distance until the situation is under control.
اینم بودا توی CS1 ولی خب اینجا صداها متفاوت‌تر، گوینده فرق داره کلاً.
Don't worry if you miss it. You'll also hear an alarm if you've built an early disaster warning system building.
اینم سیستم آلارم همین چیزای طبیعی که میاد، جنگل آتیش بگیره، طوفان بشه، این حرفا، برای اینکه ملت پاشن برن تو پناهگاه و اینا، صدای این در میاد.
To avoid overwhelming you with too many sounds at once, City Skylines 2 uses audio grouping. This system accounts for the distance and number of sound sources relative to the camera. Then it reduces the number of potential audio sources activating simultaneously. It also switches between close and distant sounds, so traffic on a busy highway miles away doesn't sound as close as that police cruiser speeding past. The immersive audio of City Skylines
میگه که صداها یه جورایی اولویت بندی شده، یعنی مثلا اگه صدای نویز اتوبانو داری میشنوی یه پلیس میاد بچه اینا قاطی نمیشه که سرطان بگیری، صدای اتوبانو کم میشه، پلیس بیشتر برات هایلایت شه.
Skylines 2 is designed to enrich your city building experience. Embrace it and lose yourself in a world of your imagination.
خب نایس. این دایری هم فیکس کردیم. بذار برم اینسایت رو بیارم. اینسایت رو بیارم ببینم چه خبره.
Hi, my name is Annu Suren. I'm a sound designer here at Colossal Order, and today we talk about sound and music. I have a teacher who always says it's pointless to talk about sound because sound is something you can only experience. I see sound as very...
عجب حرفی زدم. یه معلم داره که میگه حرف زدن راجع به صدا یه چیز بی اساس و پوینتلسیه، چون که باید خودت بشنوی تا بفهمی چیه داستان.
different kind of experience than seeing things.
که متفاوت از دیدنه.
In City Skylines 2, we have expanded many of the audio options to give the players more control over what kind of sounds they want to hear and at which volume level.
خب این ستینگشون دو تا بخش سیمپل و ادوانس داره. یه جورایی خیلی فرقی نداره، فقط این دیزاستر والیوم برام جدیده، سرویس بیلدینگز او شت، نه همه اینا رو میشه انگولک کرد. رادیو هم کلا میشه دیسیبل کرد ایول.
And we have also tried to expand what exactly is heard in your city. The city ambience consists of...
اینو قبلا گفتم، خیلی میخوام که بازم بگم. این کامیونه که این شکلیه تم اروپایی داره، وقتی که تمو تو مپ اون اول که میخواین استارت کنید بزنین آمریکایی، اینا هم عوض میشه. این دماغ داره خفن گونده.
3 layers depending on your camera height. Then on top of that, we have built different kind of ambient sounds based on your camera locations, such as if you're above a forest or a busy highway, or if you are having rain and how intense that rain is.
خب بسته به شدت و فاصلت با این چیزایی که الان گفت، اتوبان، جنگل یا چه بارون و اینا، صدا همه فرق میکنه.
On top of that, many building sounds react to simulation conditions such as weather. So cold weather outside the parks might sound different, or will sound different, I guess. Not might. I should know. I made it. I've lived, I don't actually live in Tampere, but really close by, but my heart belongs to Tampere always. But I've lived here since I was 16 years old, and I did a 1-year stint in Helsinki, and then I came quickly back.
همون شهر تمپر که مپش هم هست.
I just love this city. I love the red brick feeling and the old factories. We're now here in literally middle of Tampere with the trams in the background. And it was actually very nice to be able to enjoy them in the city. They are fairly new. When you had to design things you don't have access in real life, it always gets a bit more complicated. So it was nice to be able to see and hear the trams in real life here.
اینکه یه چیزی که از نزدیک ندیدی، تو واقعیت اصلا تجربه نداشتی، ازش استفاده نکردی رو بخوای بسازی تو گیم، خیلی چالنجی و سخته. ولی اینکه تو شهرشون این ترم رو راه انداختن خیلی کمک کرده به این داستان که اینو چجوری پیاده کنن تو گیم.
And I think they're also pretty fun. I love the little bell. Like buses don't have that. I take inspiration everywhere around me, and especially since we are dealing with a city builder, so I pay a lot of attention to like distant sounds. I find it easier to replicate sounds that you hear really close, but it gets a bit more difficult when you're hearing things that are really far away, but you still hear them, like traffic, because you have an individual car, but when you are standing on a field and look at a highway from like a distance, it sounds very different.
میگه یعنی که مثلا یه ماشین رو زده باشی فالو کنی، وقتی که داره از اتوبان رد میشه صداش فرق داره با اینکه از یه فاصله مثلا 200 متری به اتوبان نگاه کنی.
So that's something I was really inspired by. So I actually took a lot of walks near roads and just listened to how the cars sounded from a distance rather than from like really close by. And it's very interesting because you need to be able to recognize them as the same source, but it sounds different.
Oh shit. برای پیاده سازیش یه مقدار چالنجی سر این که یه سورسه ولی از نقاط و فاصله و جای مختلف عوض میشه صداه.
So I like, for example, if you hover over a residential area, it sounds a bit different close by than when you like take the bird's eye view and it's mixed with wind and sounds like that. Making audio for City Skylines 2 gave me 2 big challenges: the number of audio sources and the transition between near and far sounds. The game recognizes the distance and number of audio sources. When a certain threshold is met, the simulation groups all the individual audio sources together and creates a group audio, which is then played instead of the individual audio sources. And this is to prevent the audio from becoming too cluttered, so you can actually still hear all the relevant and interesting things.
Hey shit. پرنده ها رو فالو میکنه.
that's something that has always interested me in game sounds is the transition between two locations. So if you are going from indoors to outdoors, how does it sound? How does it make you feel? Like you immediately get a different emotion when you switch locations. So I just had to do that, but in a much, much larger scale. That was one thing that really I
این
wanted
موزیکش چقدر مثل این چیز سنتی ایرانیه مثلا.
to highlight in city skylines too, because when you move from like a busy city center and you pan your camera out over the water or into like a serene forest, how does the soundscape actually like change? Those have always been things that interest me the most. The fact that the camera can move fast. Player can move the camera from one position from like a busy city center into like a quiet forest in a really short time. So how do you make it like so that the sound keeps up and sounds correct?
یکی از چالنجاشون این بوده که مثلا سرعت کامera خب زیاده. اینکه بخواد اینکه مثلا وسط شهر میره وسط جنگلی یهویی اینو چجوری منیج کنن، چجوری به هم وصل باشه و تمیز در بیاد.
That's something I also had to, with the help of programmers, of course, figure out. There are so many variables and moving parts, so I really had to pay attention that whatever player is focusing to listen on is always like elevated and clear. Personally, for me, the biggest like, oh wow moment was when we implemented the thunder, like the lightning strike sounds.
Shit, رعد و برق.
And they actually have a small delay, so when you see a lightning strike in the distance, the sound actually has to travel for a while before you can hear it.
اصلا دیلیش هم در آوردن. تو CS1 تنها چیزی که یادم از این رعد و برق فقط صدا بود، تصویر زیاد یادم نیست. چرا البته یه دیزاستر بود فکر کنم فقط همین بود، میزد میترکون انقدر رعد و برق میزد تو شهر.
Even though I've like done sound things and implemented sounds before, I don't know why, but it just felt like, wow, that is so cool. I'm a problem solver. I like difficult things. I like my games difficult. So I definitely enjoy the challenge, even though it can feel a bit frustrating and headache-inducing. Like I mentioned earlier, I just love the feeling when it sounds just right. It's not something I can like pick apart what makes it right. And I firmly believe that sounds are a big part of like emotions, and that's why it's important for me to feel things when I design sounds. Of course, they are there to portray information, but they are also like carriers of emotions. And I hope that players can feel what I felt when I.
چقدر چالنجی شغل مغلا اینا. میگه که وقتی که یه صدا رو میخوای بسازی و اینا باید قشنگ با ایموشنت وصلش کنی. ببینید دارم سعی میکنم چون مثلا داره میگه که این یه چیزی نیستش که آقا بشه با یه چیز دیداری فیکسش کرد. این قشنگ باید بره تو خورد مغزت.
Heard the sounds.
یعنی میبینی مثلا این صحنه رو تو یعنی میفهمی خب گیم خیلی چیز واقعی نمیتونه باشه از نظر گرافیک اینا، ولی صدا اینطوری نیست. صدا باید تو ته اوج واقعیت بودنش باشه تا رو اعصاب نره، رو مخ نره. و جالبیش اینه که این کیوالهای حالا چیز اینطوری یه ورشون نرده داره وقتی نزدیک واله، میبینید نزدیک آبه، یعنی اون ور نداره، اینجا نرده داره. نایس.
I really hope that I have managed to uphold the good standards that gamers are keeping everywhere, because I have tremendous respect for players in general.
I just don't understand how you do it.
Me neither at times.
Thank you so much for watching. Next week we are talking about photo mode and cinematic camera. Bye!